Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to day 4 of our stay-at-home, drink-at-home program. In fact, this weekend we're actually going to be doing beer. Now, there's many kinds of beer.
In the words of Homer Simpson, beer.
Yes, the cause of and the solution to all of life's problems.
So there you go. So during the pandemic, drink beer.
What's your favorite beer, Cheryl?
IPA.
IPA. What's my favorite beer, Jerome? Sour beer. So we're actually going to be doing IPA today, maybe tomorrow, maybe even Sunday. We have a lot of IPAs. And then we'll be doing sour beers as a separate exercise. Now, as I said, we have a lot of good IPAs. It's the beer of choice of most craft breweries these days. And our favorite brewery is Collective Arts from Hamilton, Ontario. And they actually have many IPAs, so we're actually going to be trying 5 of their IPAs today, ranging in alcohol by volume from 4.1% all the way up to 8.5. Now, where did IPAs come from, you may ask? Did you ask? Good. IPAs came from Britain when they were sailing to India. India.
Oh, India. Okay, that makes sense. Trick question.
When they were sent to India, they wanted the good beer. They wanted beer, not good beer. They wanted beer when they got to India, because they couldn't actually brew beer in India because it was too hot. And so they put lots of hops in the beer, and hops are a preservative. And so that's where IPA came from. Now, one of these styles of IPA is British IPA, which is a fairly bitter IPA. But we'll be doing North American, or actually local to Toronto breweries, and so I think they'll be a little less bitter. So we're going to start with the lowest in volume, alcohol by volume of 4.1%, which is breaks the idea that IPAs are heavy in alcohol. Although some are, they don't have to be. And so this is Hazy States. And one of the interesting things about Collective Arts is they have a lot of artists. And so their cans are always really nice artwork. And this artwork is actually by Tim Robinson from Hudson, New York. So well done, Tim.
Hey, Hudson.
Yeah. And so...
Have you ever been to Hudson?
Well, Hudson is the river, so probably not.
Well, the guy lives in a river?
Well, he probably lives down.
He's an aquamarine artist.
Next to the river. So...
I think there must be a city called Hudson.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't say, I'm from St. Lawrence.
So we pour the IPA. It's... one of the things, this is actually Hazy State because it's a bit hazy, and
feels like life right now. A bit hazy.
Yeah, life is a bit hazy, and usually beers are hazy because they're unfiltered. So I'll give it a swig, and then Cheryl can give it a swig.
Sometimes like me in meetings, unfiltered.
Oh, sorry.
Much to the chagrin of people that I'm in the meetings with.
That is...
This is a mug from Juanita's wedding. Hang on. I don't know. We'll have to
what
look.
year?
2012.
No, 2012 was
Michelle's wedding. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. We're drinking.
Seems like every time we have a drinking, we're using a glass that Michelle gave us.
Michelle's encouraging us to
My
be
goodness. What would we do without Michelle?
Give it a try.
Ooh, that's one of my faves.
I would say that if you don't like IPAs, because they're too bitter, too hoppy, this is actually a pretty good one as an introduction. It's a very light, almost like a summer beer.
These are the Brenda's spicy almond recipe, and unfortunately I used the last of the precious hot, spicy soy sauce that we can only get in Calgary for some reason now. So anyways, we're going to enjoy this. If we can't have a pandemic to join it with. And these are slightly over roasted cashew nuts with rosemary. But...
Well, that was a good beer, wasn't it? Yeah. For our second beer today, we'll continue on with Collective Arts. This one is Collective Arts Fest, Pineapple Vanilla IPA. We were actually at the fest last year.
Beautiful memory.
Early June.
It was good. It was a good night.
And
we were the oldest people there. By a long shot.
But we did get to try beer from all over the world. They have breweries from all over America.
Oh, we met a nice fellow from Albany.
We did, who was actually selling Collective Arts in New York State.
And here's a fun fact, but apparently from Montreal down to New York City, apparently great craft breweries all along the way.
All along that drive.
Along that drive.
But of course,
whenever we can go back.
We can't drive there now.
No.
Sad to say, I think the fest won't happen this year. I don't think. Early June, probably not going to happen.
No.
This one is 6% alcohol by volume, so it's a more meatier IPA. They claim this is more like a summer IPA. It's a special edition just for the fest.
Why do we have it now?
Again, you can see it's a little hazy. That probably means it's unfiltered. And this mug...
That one's from Juanita.
Is from Juanita. So thank you, Juanita. We're drinking many years later, still from your mug.
And actually, Little Dangles is from that time period.
Yes, Little Dangles came from Vancouver.
At Juanita's wedding.
At Juanita's wedding.
So, he's been around a long time.
It's another, I would say that's another easy drinking IPA, a little heavier in alcohol, but very smooth. Very...
And pineapple.
Summery. Yeah, it's got that pineapple flavor.
Reminds me of SpongeBob. Lives under the sea.
He does, doesn't he? I forgot to do the artist for this one. This is actually one of my favorites. Shows a man whose skull is exploding. It's very good. It's by Mark Oliver from Worthing in the United Kingdom. Worthing, I think, is on the south coast, a seaside town, a little bit further east than Portsmouth. For our third IPA today from Collective Arts, we have Life in the Clouds. This one is 6.1% and has 50 IBUs compared to the others. The artist in this case is a local artist, Anne Alonso, from Kitchener, Ontario.
I probably drank a lot of these Life of the Clouds last year.
Yes.
Being in Hamilton for most of last year, that was pretty well my standard beer every day.
Yeah,
actually, it's probably my favorite.
And so Charlotte would go into the liquor store at 9:30 in the morning.
Along with
you and
the other people that are in need of alcohol.
Okay. We're actually going to be using a earthenware mug from Red Wing, Minnesota for this one.
Thank you, Elise, which is great.
And,
actually, these have become our favorite beer mugs. So.
This holds the cold much longer than the glass.
So when we get to a hot summer's day, this will be great. But it's also been great in the winter.
And
yeah,
hopefully,
it's just great. Hopefully
we're not still indoors and enjoying our beer at that time. So you can't see this one, but I guess... So give it a shot. I know you love it.
It's like, ooh. It's like I've tasted like an everybody before. Please notice the African artwork.
Oh yes. Oh, and our boys are still hanging out.
What? Yeah. She looks a little drunk myself. But...
This one is a little bit more IPA than the first two. So
Hoppy.
if you're not into IPAs, don't try this one.
If you're not into hoppy.
And for this one, we're going to be trying our food pairing. Will be some
Blackbird bread.
crusty bread
Thank you, Brenda.
from Blackbird.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where the bakery is in town, but Brenda knows, so that's okay.
Brenda picks it up for us every Saturday.
So we'll be trying this.
And this is what
And this goes good with beer, so I hear.
we can also order this bread with burdock beer.
That Burdock Brewery delivers,
Oh.
and deliver Blackbird beer, Blackbird
bread
with it.
Say that
Pretty
fast
cool.
3 times. Sorry,
For our fourth Collective Arts IPA, we have IPA number 12. That means it's a limited edition, and that means there was 11 previous special editions. This one is 6.9% alcohol, a little heavier. And the artist for this one is a local boy from Toronto by the name of Scott Wise. And let's try IPA number 12. See if it's any better than number 11, or number 10, or number 9.
What's 12 in hexadecimal?
12 in hexadecimal is Charlie.
Oh, well done.
So if you're into computers, Charlie is the one.
So we'd call this number Charlie.
We'd call this Charlie.
And what about in binary?
In binary, this would be 1100.
Wow, you were good. You may be old, but you're still...
Still remember my hexadecimal.
Yeah.
How was it?
Delicious. No matter whether it's in hexadecimal or in decimal.
Now, for this one, we're going to be pairing it with
French fries.
some French fries.
Made in the actor fry.
Oh, yes. So if you're into low fat
A dish from Shelley Barnett.
French fries, this is them. For our final of IPA for the Collective Arts, we have Radio the Mothership.
Ooh, the Mothership. Isn't that a song?
I think it is.
Like a Pink Floyd song or something?
Sounds like a Pink Floyd song, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is a double IPA, and it's 8.5% alcohol.
They're going to love you by the end
It's
of
a heavy,
this.
but notice it's a smaller can, so less volume.
Bigger bang for the buck.
And it's 100 IBUs, so it's really,
Really?
heavy hops, yes.
Have we ever had this one?
I don't think so.
Wow.
The artist is Von Glitschka, or something like that. Hopefully, if he's listening, I'm sorry I pronounced your name sounded funny. He's from Portland, Oregon. Now, Portland, Oregon is where I spent my 26th birthday.
Well, who knew?
I became a man.
Okay. This is a PG rated video.
In Portland, Oregon,
we don't need to know any of
on the bridge. But anyway,
Okay, okay.
that's a true story. So anyway, let's try this sucker out. Oh, gotta be careful. Don't ruin the carpet or whatever here. And pour the beer in. I think this is a bit hazy as well, or maybe a little less hazy. Fits perfectly in the old glass. And now let's try the strongest beer of the evening.
Is it good?
It's powerful, and it's got some very aromatic. Let me see if it says here. It's double dry hopped, but
Ooh,
it's got some interesting
wow.
hops or
It's not as hoppy as like
flavors.
as the mother.
Now for this one, we're going to be pairing this with some sausage.
From Harrington's in Port Perry.
Oh,
One of our favorite butchers.
I'll give it to you first.
Thank you.
And a little bit for me.
Spicy. Ooh.
until tomorrow, when we'll be doing more IPAs. Ooh, spicy. Boy.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, beers.